Here at the Bible Bros, we support the Second Amendment and all weapons. And if you do not support all weapons and the Second Amendment, that's fine too. This right here is an assembled AR-15 of mine. And this is my AR-15 right here, disassembled. And this right here is what I would consider probably the most important part on the weapon system, the extractor pin. Now, not everybody is a gun guru like me, and if you don't know anything about guns, or especially AR-15s, and you disassembled it, you would figure that maybe the upper receiver or the lower receiver, because they're bigger, they are more important than the little pieces. But in all reality, it's just the opposite, because you have all these little components that make up something that's big to actually function properly. So you have all these small pieces right here, and they look like this. Then the end result, it turns out to look something like this. Now, I don't plan on getting too technical into this, but without all these small parts, this bolt assembly here and carrier group assembly could not do what it's been designed to do without those small parts. You see, if it wasn't for that little pin, this little piece right here wouldn't hold in and be able to drive that round in, and at the same time be able to extract it. And then without this part right here, we couldn't have our firing pin within there as well. So all these little pieces right here are important because they make the weapon function properly. Paul tries to make the same point in 1 Corinthians chapter 12. In verses 12 through 13, he shows us as Christians we are baptized into the same body. That is the body of Christ. And then verses 14 through 20, he shows us that we make up his body, but being different body parts. And we all have a specific function. And then he goes a little deeper in verse 21, saying, "The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, the part of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And on those parts of the body that we think less honorable, we bestow the greater honor, and our unpresentable parts are treated with greater modesty, which our more presentable parts do not require. But God has so composed the body, giving greater honor to the part that lacked it." So let's talk about the local church. So as a body of believers, we come together, we worship together, we do things that God has asked us to do to help the kingdom grow. And sometimes I think people have this mindset that when they look like an extractor pin, they don't look that big. And they may look at other people like, oh, look at all this guy and this girl and all their talents that they have. Or look at all they've done. And they don't look at what they are able to do. And they kind of just veer off. And then it causes a problem. It causes a schism. And we don't want that. Just kind of like how your big toe, even though it's not as big as your arm, it helps you balance. It's necessary. So it doesn't matter. Each member of the Lord's body has a specific role. They are within the body for a reason. You may be able to do something that those bigger parts, they can't do. Just like the weapon system. Yeah, the upper receiver is cool. It's a nice thing. But it doesn't do all the functions that some of these little parts can do in this weapon system. So think about that. So if there's anything I could say to close out this video, I guess it would be, brothers and sisters, if you see a member who feels like they're being left out, that they can't help out, they feel like they are no good to the cause of the church, show them that they are, and show them why they're important. And if you are one of those individuals who think that they serve no help or purpose to the church, reflect upon some of the things that were just said, and read all of 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and examine it for yourself. But to close this off, I want to read chapter 12, starting at verse 25. That there may be no division in the body, but that the members may have the same care for one another. If one member suffers, all suffer together. If one member is honored, all rejoice together. Now you are the body of Christ, and individually members of it.